asymmetrical horror games, a genre that has become synonymous with Roblox, with titles such as Pillowchase 2, Forsaken, and Outcome Memories taking the platform by storm. However, not all of these games are, of good quality, with a lot of the games pushing out updates that appear to make the games worse, games including characters that others already have, and many more. So together, let's analyse some of these titles on the platform and see what their strengths and faults are. First, let's talk about one of the OG asym games, at least in my opinion, Pillowchase 2. Pillowchase 2 was one of the first asymmetrical games I ever played, and it certainly was the one that kicked off my interest in the genre, and when I first played it, there was certainly a good reason why. Around the time before we had to deal with Beta Mimic and Fawadi, I started playing Pillowchase 2. Initially, I manned our Ernie and Fogborn, but after returning to the game, I expanded to play Inkfell, WIC, and Baldi. When I played, there was no such thing as sliding, and all the tasks were just a hold button to complete task. I'll be one of the first to admit, the game wasn't that polished, but unlike another asym game that I'll get into later, the updates that release typically added new killers and maps consistently, and with very little game-breaking bugs to boot. The game had a slow but consistently good gameplay loop, and at least there was something to do in the lobby in the form of the FNF arcade machine. For a while, however, I stepped off the game and began to dislike it, which is quite strange as it was before the downfall. However, I got back into it, but it was right before the infamous Overhaul update, or what I refer to as the downfall. The Overhaul update changed how many monsters played, added sliding to survivors which completely broke many monsters due to them not having a reliable way of countering sliding, and made limited skin rotations too short for the fact that money and killer chance was hard to come by quickly. However, not all hope is lost for Pillowchase, as public testing was released recently for the game's recode, which is going to save the game, making it a more fun experience, giving players new things to do in the lobby, and it's just shaping up to be one of the greatest asymmetrical horror games this platform has ever seen. So, fingers crossed. Ooh boy, we're really talking about this, aren't we? Forsaken is in a really iffy spot at the moment, whether it be from the endless bugs being masked as tech, the amount of videos starting with the sentence, "There is a new game-breaking bug in Forsaken," or the lack of new survivors and killers in place of overpriced skins, and announcing new stuff for killers further down the roadmap than the next killer. But it wasn't always like this. When Forsaken first released in December of 2024, I heard my friend talking about it, and slightly later, I played along with him. At the start, I preferred the Roblox era Until Dawn. I know I didn't have great taste, but after buying Builderman and 1x1x1, I began to enjoy the game more, and it started to outshine Pillowchase 2 in my eyes. As I kept playing, more skins came out, and I bought every character and a skin alongside them to boot. One day I was playing the game, and when I joined the lobby, I heard different music and noticed a lot of new songs. And initially, I was excited. Sometimes the old music got a little bit repetitive, but looking back, so many amazing tracks were lost, such as the Mafia Man's chase theme, I refuse to call him Mafioso, 1X's chase theme, and the old lobby theme. Then Dusukar came out. Shortly after, TAF came out. Then, after a few more months, Nolly came out, and it was looking kind of good. Then the Slasher update came out. Many skins got reworked, there were endless changes to characters, developers making promises for changes that never came, overpriced skins being released preemptively, good skins being scrapped, and so many more problems. On top of this, the community is incredibly toxic, getting mad when someone misgenders a character when that character started out as a different gender. They no-life the game, making it unfun to play, and much, much more. Overall, Forsaken has gone to shit. Hopefully with the Yes 666 update, it can have a comeback, but at the rate it's going, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. On a much better note, let's talk about Outcome Memories. As of September 2025, Outcome Memories is one of the most recent ASIM games to release, and it is easily one of, if not the best and most polished ASIM game out there, but there are only a few issues that need to be addressed. Outcome Memories shadow dropped on the 25th of July 2025, and although there are a couple bugs when it came to some lobby things and certain characters not being given enough rank to effectively earn money, it was still one of the most fun games to play, that is, if you chose the right character. Like Sonic EXE, The Disaster, and the Robloxia Until Dawn, there could only be one of any given survivor on a team, meaning all the easy-to-play, beginner-recommended characters like Eggman and Metal Sonic were chosen incredibly quickly, and that left characters like Cream and Sonic left, who were a lot harder to use effectively, leading people not wanting to play the game and calling it too difficult. Playing EXE was also very hard for beginners, but at least when you got chosen as EXE, you can play as the same guy every time to learn how they play. Furthermore, a lot of cosmetics were very expensive, which meant a lot of players felt that things were overpriced, leading them not wanting to grind in the game. However, when you really look at it, Outcome Memories is one of the best, most polished ASIM games on the platform, and anyone else who says otherwise is dead wrong. Before I conclude this video, I want to quickly mention some other ASIM games that would have been in this video but for one reason or another was cut. Firstly, I want to mention Dive Death, which has been consistently good and really fun to play. The one complaint I have is boost pad stacking was removed, RIP to the greatest tech in that game. Then there's Pwned by 14 O'Clock, which is the game with some of the best optimization and hitboxes, but has a little problem with some movesets being accurate. Devil's Dawn is looking to be one of the best ASIM games with the highest amount of polish, but the downside is it's not near completion, and we haven't gotten any real news from it for a hot minute. Sonic EXE The Disaster was a really fun game to play with friends, but it wasn't really balanced, nor were the hitboxes too good. Last but not least is Robloxia's Sin, a more recent game to pop up on the radar, which also isn't out, but is unique in the sense that it has 2 kills instead of 1, but due to its lobby size it may take a little while to get your random's killer. Those are pretty much all the honourable mentions, because all the other ASIM games are dog shit. In conclusion, the asymmetrical horror genre has not totally gone bad yet, with really good games like Robloxia's Sin, Devil's Dawn, Pillar Chase 2, and Outcome Memories shaping up to be some of the best, while others like Forsaken are dragging the reputation of these games down. Many good experiences and memories have come out of the genre, but it is still becoming oversaturated with every new quickly put together Pillar Chase 2 or Forsaken clone all doing the same thing. Well, that's all the time I have today. Have a good morning, evening, and night, and I'll see you next time.